Good afternoon. Today I'm going to show you how to make oven roasted Brussels sprouts. First, you will need to preheat your oven to 375 degrees. And the ingredients that you will need today are 2 pounds of fresh Brussels sprouts, and I have reserved a few to show you how to prepare them, and olive oil, and I will be using about 5 tablespoons of olive oil, 1 teaspoon of sea salt, and 1/4 teaspoon of ground pepper. So the first thing that I want to go ahead and show you how to do is how to prepare your fresh Brussels sprouts. Now, I received these Brussels sprouts from a store local here in town, and I love the store in the sense that it sells the vegetables there not by pound but by package. And so I absolutely love to go to this store because it reminds me of just somewhere where you can go in, grab your fresh vegetables, and they are fresh. So it makes me very happy that I can serve fresh vegetables to my family throughout the winter for less money than local grocery store chains. But what you see I did is I took the Brussels sprouts and I cut the end off of the Brussels sprout. And again, I have washed all the Brussels sprouts because I'm a firm believer in washing all of your fresh vegetables. So what you will see me do is I'm going to go ahead and cut the stem part of the Brussels sprout off. So I'm cutting all the stems first. It's just easier for you to do that. So now I've got all of the stems cut, and I am cutting them probably a good 1/4 to a 1/2 inch depending on how big the Brussels sprout is. I don't want to get a lot of that stem area involved. So what you saw me do is I cut the Brussels sprout in half, and I'm just going to take the first layer of the leaf off because I want to make sure that the outer leaf is nice and green. So I'm going to go ahead and do that to the other Brussels sprouts that I have here, and I am taking the outer leaf off, and I'm just simply cutting it in half. And you might have to take a couple of the leaves off on the outer portion of the Brussels sprout if they are bruised. So I'm going to go ahead and finish the last one, and then we're going to move on to coating our Brussels sprouts with the olive oil. And again, I have lined a cookie sheet with foil. So I've got the Brussels sprouts ready to be placed in the bowl. So I'm going to go ahead and move everything forward so that you can see how I'm going to do this. So I've got, again, 2 pounds of fresh Brussels sprouts that I have prepared. So I'm going to go ahead and pour those into my bowl. And I'm going to pour approximately 5 tablespoons of olive oil into my bowl. And then you will see that I'm going to be tossing my Brussels sprouts. And I'm just using a big enough bowl that none will be falling off the sides or out onto the counter. So I'm going to go ahead and make sure that all of the Brussels sprouts are nicely coated with the oil. This is a very simple recipe that you can make, and I have made several videos previously where I've roasted my vegetables. It's just a simple way to eat fresh vegetables. Very easy And what you saw me do is I just poured half of my salt into the bowl, and I'm getting ready to put the other half in now. And it was salt and pepper. So I'm just going to go ahead and continue to stir so that I know that everything is coated with salt and pepper and with the olive oil. So now what you will see me do is we have again a foil lined cookie sheet, and I'm just going to make sure that I'm placing the Brussels sprouts, onto the cookie sheet, and I'm making sure that they are flat. And we are going to cook the Brussels sprouts for approximately 30 minutes or until they are tender. And you don't want to burn the Brussels sprouts. Okay, so here we are. We have 2 pounds of Brussels sprouts that have been prepared. They've been sliced in half and coated with olive oil and with sea salt and ground pepper. So I'm going to place them in the oven that is preheated to 375, and I'll let you see what they look like as soon as they're ready. The Brussels sprouts are out of the oven and ready for dinner. I'm going to transfer them into a bowl so you can get a better peek at what they look like. And again, the Brussels sprouts can be served at dinner, and if you want to add some fresh Parmesan cheese to the top, you can do that, or you can jazz it up with different cheeses. Doesn't have to be Parmesan. And again, you can always adjust the taste of the salt and pepper to your liking. So here we have a nice toasted Brussels sprout side dish for your family. I hope they enjoy this dish as much as my family does. Until next time, enjoy.